why did he end up at the stop? Why didn't he stop? Why did he keep going? Well, let's talk about it. Oh, you want my name? You want my name? And he is out of there. This is when things start to deteriorate for him. Like, if I was a defense, I'd be like, look, you're going to jail. It's just a matter of how long is your ass going to jail. Hey everybody, it's me, Paul, with Reporting Live from my sofa. How are you doing today? I am doing wonderful. It's really sunny in the camping world today. I'm happy about it. Happy Halloween if you're watching this Halloween, because I'm recording it on Halloween. Today, we are going to be doing a very brief overview of another trial. It's going on. It's actually, I believe, going to the jury today. It's Halloween. It's Thursday. I kind of got caught up on this one, and I just wanted to go over it with y'all because this is one of those trials that I'm like, definitely watch it if you're like me and you just like watching trials instead of TV. Just because of the, what am I watching? Why is this even on trial? It's awful, and there's just, there's a lot to go into it. So, without further ado, let's review. Now, before I get started, if you want to watch this on the recap, watch it on Scales of Justice. That's where I've been watching it. It's a YouTube channel, and they are really good about posting up these different trials. There's lots of them there, so check it out. That's where I've been watching it on the replay and got like all caught up with it. And this is the trial against Christopher Berak. Now, he is on trial for the murder of Officer Overall, and essentially, let's just do a real quick rundown of what happened. And then we'll go a little bit further into it. So he was on a 22-mile car chase. He was fleeing a stop. And basically, Officer Overall was there with the things that you put out on the road to like physically make somebody stop. And the officer was on the side of the road, and Christopher swerved to miss this thing and plowed into the officer. The details are awful, but you can only imagine. I mean, he killed him. That was that. He was apprehended after that, and he's on trial for that. So the state is saying that this was, intentional. There was no mistake about this, and the defense is trying to essentially say, like, no, he didn't mean to kill the officer. Like, he accidentally swerved off or whatever. There's that. So let's go a little bit deeper into it. So leading up to this, there is a chain of events that take place to be like, well, why did he end up at the stop? Why didn't he stop? Why did he keep going? Well, let's talk about it. So he worked at a pizza place, delivering pizzas, yada, yada, yada. He leaves work. Now, before he left work, apparently, he was, like, trying to secure some weed for the evening. And, like, trying to find some weed, whatever. He's texting friends about it. And he ends up, like, getting high or whatever, smoking some pot. And we'll get into that in a little bit. So he leaves work at, like, 10 o'clock. And he's going, like, 60-some miles per hour in a 45. So, obviously, an officer clocks him, pulls him over. He says some really weird stuff. Like, he's talking about, I'm a child of God, I have rights, like, weird stuff. Like, he's not happy about this. Most people aren't, but he takes it to that next level. So, but he gets the ticket, and he leaves. Now, this is when things start to deteriorate for him that evening. He leaves the scene. And he makes some recordings on his phone, and he's, like, apparently irate, and he's talking about, I'm Satan, I'm God, if you touch me, I'll kill you, and, like, all this crazy stuff. And, like, texting friends, it's like, this is the last straw, bro. And just kind of bizarre things. So somewhere in this logic, he decides to go to the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office is one of those, like, how small towns, it's like a lot of times the sheriff's office is also the jail. So it was that scenario. Now, allegedly, like, he knew someone in that jail. So I'm kind of like, the last thing you ever want to do is go to the sheriff's office or a jail, for that matter, either one, to show your ass. I mean, it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's the last thing you want to do. So you can imagine he shows up there. He is acting very weird, and, what's 1 + 1? 2. Had officers come out, they, are like, what's going on, da-da-da, and he basically takes off. And he runs and gets out of there. Well, some peace officers, saw this take place, whatever, somehow. They follow him, And this is where the second stop of the night comes into play. He goes up there, and this is the one where he basically is just like, oh, you want my name? You want my name? And he is out of there. He flees the scene. This is where the 22-mile pursuit takes place. And he's going, and, you know, again, this is where he comes up, he sees the officer, he swerves off the road, he kills him. Now, the defense is basically like, and again, this is kind of where I'm just like, there's not really too much you can say about this. This is my opinion. In this case right here, this is a matter of, like, if I was a defense, I'd be like, look, you're going to jail. It's just a matter of how long is your ass going to jail? You know, if you want to get into, because the defense, of course, is just like, no, it was an accident. And the defense honestly said this in their opening statement, y'all. He was like, he went the speed limit while he was being chased and stayed in his lane. And I'm like, what? What? Like, where have we missed the part about pulling over and having your, you know, situation with the cops? That part, I'm just like, no, not really. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Let's wrap this up, y'all. This is done. I'm sorry, it's done. And, you know, I get, again, I don't want to sound like nobody should get their day in court and all this type of stuff. Like, yes, let's see the evidence. But this is heinous. I mean, it just is. You know, I mean, it has all the makings here. You know, you leave work, you get high, you get pulled once, you go to the sheriff's office, you show your ass, they come out to get you. Obviously, they're going to. You leave, you flee a second scene on a 22-mile pursuit. You're lucky you're alive. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the fact that he didn't get killed in gunfire is, he should consider himself lucky. So, and then you kill a police officer? No, honey, it's over with. Now, also to put salt in the wound in this one, one of the deputies that was like, he testified saying like, okay, well, after, you know, we had put him in after the accident happened, and they put him in the car, and in the patrol car, like he's under arrest or whatever. You know, he went to check on his physical condition, and Berak winked at him. So I'm just like, yeah, that's, you know, these people that do these, like, you know, they get into the situation, a crime happens, whatever, and then this, I'm just like, you just keep throwing salt in the wound on here, and it doesn't look good in court. So, like I said, today's Halloween, and I believe this has gone to the jury at this point. And that's kind of all I really wanted to say about it, because this was a pretty brief trial. I mean, again, there's not much they could do. I mean, basically the defense in his opening statements, he continually kept saying, innocent until proven guilty, innocent until proven guilty. Because you know that this had to have gone over like a lead balloon locally, you know, where they're at. That was his biggest thing. Like, you know, he's innocent, he's innocent, he's innocent. You know, to me, again, it comes down to how long is he going to jail for? You know, can they prove premeditation? In my opinion, when you flee 22 miles later, anything that happens is on your shoulders. I mean, I'm sorry. Once you leave the officer and you are even beginning to consider doing something like that, and then you cause that kind of damage, I mean, come on. So, and especially if somebody's lost, or a life is lost in the commission of that, I mean, that's your fault. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it was an accident. You know, not really, because you shouldn't have been doing that anyways. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. That's it. I just want to come and talk to y'all a little bit. You know, we've been doing this Ezra McCandless trial, and I saw this one and kind of like went through and just got in. I was like, oh, this is, you know, what? So again, once you're done with the Ezra trial, if you're watching that one, check this one out. I appreciate it. Don't forget to go join the Facebook group. We had a great time there last night for Halloween. I'm actually going to go live here in a few minutes, although this won't be up by then, but I'm going to go do some little crime updates and stuff like that on there. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you later. Goodbye.